This is a $400 billion market. A packaging company in India makes about 22,000 crores a year. In our first year, we made about 1.4 crores. We want to reach around 6 to 7 crores by the end of the year. The more you produce, the lesser your cost becomes. That actually improves your headroom and profit.
Hi Rajat, this is Siddharth, and welcome to our podcast. I would like to jump in with the first question. I would like to have a little bit of intro about you and about the Pippa. So, am I spelling it right or am I pronouncing it right? If not, let me know.
Yes, Siddharth, nice meeting you too. And yeah, I think you've got Pippa correct.
Okay.
We call it Pippa itself. It is. I think there's a joke behind the name as well.
Okay.
So this Pippa started as a part of what my dad started. So it is something that he laid the foundation stone for sustainability in packaging, and we took it forward. So we just named it after him. The Papa became Pippa.
Oh,
So
okay. That's
yes.
the story.
So yeah, that's the basic story about that. So yeah, we at Pippa make sustainable packaging, and we basically made a coating, which is bio-based, 100% bio-based coating, which when we apply onto regular paper, it gives paper plastic-like properties. That it becomes water resistant, it becomes heat sealable, and it gets barrier properties. And so this plastic-like paper can then be used to make actual packaging, which is generally made out of plastic. We swap that out and make packaging out of this paper. And the entire paper, after the coating is applied, is completely biodegradable.
Okay.
So that is the product that we are coming with.
What do you guys call this coating actually?
So we just call it by the name HSX1, which is a code name for it. So we call it HSX1, and HSX1 is applied onto paper, and yeah, it is just magical with its properties.
Okay. Let's get to know you a little bit and then we'll revert back to Pippa.
Absolutely.
So, you went from HCL to IIM Bangalore, right? To
Yes.
founding like sustainable packaging company, right? So,
Yes.
what was the moment that you decided to stop climbing the corporate ladder and start building Pippa?
Yes. So the greatest thing about this question is that you got the timeline absolutely spot on. I was in HCL. Then when I was in HCL, this was right around the time of COVID, that is 2020. And I had just started a company of my own, which was into manufacturing,
Okay.
machines, automated machines, and all of these.
Okay.
So, right in the middle of 2020, when our demand for these automated products also increased by a lot. So the demand was so much that I had to leave HCL, and I had a wonderful job at HCL as well. We were into design of machines, kitchen appliances basically.
Okay.
But then the demand for automated products increased. The order for automated products increased in my company. That is when I quit HCL and started working on this full time, on the manufacturing company full time. So somewhere down the line, manufacturing, we were also working. My father already had a packaging plant where he used to print on aluminum foils.
Okay.
And we just saw a convergence of both of these businesses. So one with me running the manufacturing of machines, and here the printing of aluminum foil. So, and he's a person with immense knowledge in the field when it comes to packaging, when it comes to inks, solvents, chemicals, etc. So we wanted to make use of that, and so we started developing the coating. And once we developed we worked for almost 2 years. So it took us almost 2 years of R&D in order to make the coating. We had initial help from a lot of different plant scientists and a lot of people. But eventually, after working on it continuously for about 2 years, we were able to finalize on a coating, which we then started selling. But once during this 2 year process, we realized that it's not just the coating that is the main challenge here. it was a method in which this coating was applied onto paper as well. Like, paper, once you put water onto paper, it just tears or just
Yeah,
breaks into pieces.
yeah, yeah.
So that was a major challenge that we had when we were developing the technology, that how do you efficiently coat this onto paper without breaking paper down. And that is where my skills and knowledge from manufacturing of machines came into picture, and we were able to get a patent or even on the method of applying this coating onto paper as well. So the combination of the coating itself and this coating mechanism is together is what built Pippa.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So, can you describe a little bit about the 2 years journey before actually launching the Pippa? A little bit about that, like how you
Oh,
went
it.
from researching to actually building something, actually feeling it in your hand and testing it, that it worked, the
Oh
wow
yes,
moment.
it.
Yeah.
I just hope it was a wow moment kind of a thing, but it has been a journey. I mean, and there hasn't been a one time where in which we have gotten the results and we have seen and we have said wow. I don't think there has ever
Okay.
been such an event. So it has been a journey where in which we fail every day. We see some light at the end of the tunnel every single day, and we still go back into it to perfecting it. So the entire 2 years was a journey similar to this. Initially, we were working with a plant scientist. He has a company of his own, which still makes biofilms. He was the person that introduced us to coatings. So we were doing trials for him on our machine, printing machine, and during these we got into a discussion of sustainable packaging, and then we got into discussion on coatings. And he is the person that guided us during the first 6 months, showing us what are the products that could be used for coating and all of these. So that is how we started on this journey of making coatings. But slowly we got more deeper into it, where in which we developed various versions of this coating, and we used to go take it to some customer which has a very good name. It could be a sweet manufacturer, a sweet supply chain, or even a namkeen chain, or anyone within our reach within the city. We used to take it to them, and we used to show them these, and every single person said this is a wonderful product, I would want to buy it, but I want to test it. And sometimes they would test it, and initial days the biggest concern and biggest problem or question that we got was, this is paper, it is easily tearable, can you make it non tearable? So you cannot make paper non tearable. From what I know, you cannot make paper non tearable without plastic. So these kinds of things, these kinds of impossible tasks were something that we were faced with initially. Make paper non-tearable without plastic, then make paper waterproof completely, that you dip it inside and it stays there forever, kind of a thing. So these are some challenges that we took back. We went there. There were several times that the customer actually put in their product, and they waited for about 6 or 8 or 10 days, and then they took it out and they saw that there was some leakage or probably wetting that happened in the pouches, and then we had to go back to the drawing board. So it was a lot of this, go to them, repair, come back, go to them, repair, come back. So this continuous cycle of working is what actually got us to make the final product.
Okay, so that was a whole lot of journey before actually getting the product.
Yes, yes.
What was the market reaction when you pitched the Pipa to any customer for you? What was their first reaction to this?
Okay, so it has always been, initial days when we were still in the R&D phase, it had always been a negative reaction that we got. Like, I don't want to go for paper. It is paper. How can you put this in paper? This was the sort of reaction that we got. Eventually, after one and a half year kind of a space, when we used to show that these are pouches made out of completely paper and nothing else, people were more warm towards us. That is, the reaction of them improved. But yeah, it was still slightly more negative than positive. So eventually, after working back and doing all these multiple cycles and actually proving that this product, so product is actually worth its time and effort that we have put in, and we showed all the certifications that one could get. We made food grade certification, migration tests, we did barrier property tests, we did biodegradability tests, we showed all of these tests. Only then did we get a little bit of warm acceptance from customers. Even now, there are certain occasions where in which this gets passed off as a claim more than just an actual product, but we have been very successful in proving all them wrong and just blowing them out of the water. So yeah.
So basically, the proof works better than anything
The
here.
proof works better, yeah, yeah. Live proof. If I can actually send you a few samples today, and you can test it out, and I am damn sure you will not come back with a problem.
Okay, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So anyways, sustainable packaging has been like expensive than plastic. So how does that conversation goes when you pitch?
I mean, you're absolutely right. In fact, pricing was the main goal that we chased. Even before we chased barrier properties, even before we chased water resistance or heat sealability, pricing was the main thing. Because in all the beginning stages, what we saw was sustainable packaging options were always low performing, yet higher price than plastic. So that was the actual case back in 22, 23, 2022, 2023, and all of these years. So our main goal that we started off with was we have to make a coating or a sustainable packaging which costs lesser than plastic, because that is the only way that we'll be able to crack all small business. So our goal from day one has always been small businesses, and very less of Fortune 500 companies and big companies or large organizations, because our conversion to into from a lead to a client with small businesses is so much faster than it is with larger organizations. So we have always focused on small businesses, and that is why we were able to get a ground level view of how our product goes through the entire supply chain, how people throw it during transport, how boxes are thrown around, how packaging material is thrown around. So there are some we make it in form of rolls, and we have seen with our own eyes when we send it to a transport office, the Hamalis just throw it away. So it had to survive all of these. So all of these put together, keeping all this in mind, the survivability, the saleability, and the properties, are we fine tuned it to keep it at a low cost and supply it to our clients at a low cost. So with that vision is what we started, and we were able to do it at a lower cost than plastic as well.
Okay, before going to the next question, I would like you to explain me more about what I've just asked. Let's take an example, and can you explain the price difference thing between, let's say, a plastic bag for standard food delivery or something like that, or whatever you have worked with, and let's just break down the cost and let us do this.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's do this exercise to and fro. Now, where do plastics come from?
Plastics, mostly from polymer, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, oil, basically oil,
Oil,
right?
okay.
Crude oil.
Okay.
And where do you get maximum crude oil?
Uh, I don't have actually don't
Which
have
country?
any.
Which country do you get
Middle East
crude oil
mostly.
from?
Middle East.
Sorry?
Middle East.
Exactly, Middle East. So Middle East is not within India.
Right.
So all of this is imported into India.
Right, right.
So there is a cost with plastic as well. Even though it's cheap,
Yeah.
there is an associated cost with that, and it's dependent on crude oil.
Okay.
Now, with the country going more towards Make in India, Viksit Bharat, and all of these, we wanted to focus on a solution which could be India derived itself. And with this goal, we started making the coating out of products which were already available in bulk in India. And the first thing that came into our mind was India is an agricultural country.
Right.
What can we make? So this thought process, I'm just telling you the thought process that we had. So India is an agricultural country. So there is a lot of agricultural based products that are available. And more than the agricultural based products, there is agricultural waste which is available,
Right.
which either gets burned or just discarded. So we thought, why not make use of these agricultural waste and make something from waste to wealth? So then once we got into it, we realized that agricultural waste is very, very cheap and highly available. This was our primary reason for the cost factor. That is, we are getting our raw materials from agro waste, and there is an existing supply chain for this agro waste since 40, 50, 60, 70 years. It's already in place. We didn't have to reinvent anything. All we had to do is we just had to tap into the existing supply chain, and we could get all of those raw materials at the same cheap cost that it is actually running around. So since we got an India derived raw material at a very low cost, we were able to make our product cheaper than plastic. Now, how much cheaper than plastic? It depends based on what kind of specification, what kind of product that you take. But we have seen that it is somewhere between 8 to 20% lesser than plastic at any point of time.
Okay, so given that I could choose anything and I'll be between the range of 8 to 20% cheaper than plastics. Okay,
Correct, exactly.
wonderful. I think that's a like real cost impact. It's a
Yes.
big cost impact. So now going to the next question, which is if someone goes to like approaches you and wants to try your product, what is it in their supply chain and what is it in their manufacturing that they have to change in order to get Pippa as their actual packaging thing? What is it that they need to change?
That's the best question. If, let's say, you are a manufacturer of chapatis or maybe even rotis for that
Okay,
matter, you have an entire supply chain where you've been packing rotis, making rotis, baking them or half cooking them, and then putting it into plastic containers and you sending them out. You would not have to change anything, absolutely nothing. You do your process exactly the same way your workers have been, your helpers have been used to do it. There is absolutely no change in machinery that you would require. There is absolutely no change in skill set that you would require. In fact, opting for our product will actually give you more profits because we are already cheaper than plastic. So you would just have to swap out your plastic covers and bring in our covers, and you do everything else the same way. You pack it the same way, you seal it the same way, everything the same way.
okay. So basically, if someone is actually let's take a generic example. If there is some company who manufactures chips or snacks for like locally, uh, how does that work for them? The example that we have had is a little bit different than these manufacturing plants. So how does that work
Correct.
for these kind of people who are actually generating a lot of like in Mac like a lot amount of consumer products. So how does that work for
Correct.
them?
So let this, since all this time we were discussing about companies, so let's come down to a market perspective. Market in the sense I'm actually talking about a street vendor market kind of a setup, where in
Okay,
which let's go to a shop that makes hot chips, and when you order hot chips, he gives you, he asks you what quantity you need, and he takes a poly bag, he puts in this chips into the poly bag, seals it up, and gives it to you.
right.
Okay. Now, if we were to replace his poly bag with our particular product, it's as simple as swapping out that poly bag with our product. We'll just give him the pouches exact same way that he gets a poly bag in. All he has to do is he has to take the poly bag, put his chips inside the poly bag, sorry, inside our particular paper bags. He has to fill it up and just seal it and give you. Everything else remains the same.
Okay, so
So it's
if
as
they
simple as that.
want, yeah, got it. So if they want to put on a logo onto their packaging, how does that work for them? Like for like these cheap guys, it's mostly a transparent bag or something like that.
Correct.
So if they
Yes.
want to customize it, how does that work?
Customization works perfectly well. So now we are coming up from a market perspective to a commercial industrial perspective, where in which a company has does its branding, puts its nutritional information, its licenses, etc., and then gives you the chips. Even in such a factory, everything remains same. We give them rolls, printed rolls. Basically, printing is done on the paper. We have in-house facility to print it as well. We print on the paper, we give them printed paper rolls, and they put it onto the machines exactly like how they used to put plastic based packaging, and they have to run the machine the exact same way. So absolutely no difference there as well.
Okay. So basically, it's just a replacement for the plastic,
Exactly.
as like
Exactly.
from the point of contact.
Yes.
Even when they contact you, they can directly replace it with what they want.
Yes, it's an as is replacement. No changes necessary at all.
Great, great, great. Okay. Let's start with the scale of the market, and then we'll go to the competitions. That works. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
yeah, this is a $400 billion market,
In India.
packaging material, in globally,
Okay. Okay.
$400 billion market,
What would be what it
and
would be? Sorry for cutting you,
no
but
problem, no problem.
what might be the scale of Indian market?
So the biggest company, packaging company in India, makes about 22,000 crores a year
Is it
in
Tetra,
revenues.
if I'm not
No,
wrong?
no, it's not. I would prefer not to take the name, but
Okay, okay.
the biggest packaging company in India makes 22,000 crores. And there are, I think, at least 7 to 8 similarly sized companies. Some of them MNC, some of them completely India based. But yeah, all of them are around the same scale, probably 14,000, 17,000, 16,000 crores, etc. So it's a pretty big market even in India. I just spoke to you about, I just told you about the top
Got it.
one company
Got it.
revenue. So that is the size of the market currently in India. And when you talk about scale, it has to be through flexible packaging itself. Flexible packaging is packaging which is basically flexible. That is, you can just fold it and put it in your pocket, or you can just tear it open and throw it like
Got
pouches.
it. Got it.
So you get scale of that kind only when you're in flexible packaging. So it's a pretty massive industry. I hope that answers that question of yours, how
Okay,
big the
okay.
market is.
So how much of that part is actually being like explored by people like you, the sustainable packaging people?
There are pretty big companies which are doing fantastic and phenomenal job. There are several companies in India, especially now that a lot of push is going into sustainable packaging. There are n number of companies. These are growing rapidly because of the massive adaptation of sustainable packaging across India, and the push towards, and even the government, in fact, is pushing towards, it's changing its regulations and pushing towards more sustainable packaging in several industrial sectors. So, the government push, along with the increasing demand, is something that is very positive on the industry. And there are several companies which are coming up. So, yeah, it's a
Okay.
great space to be in right now.
Okay, 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 got it. Nice. So my next question was related to government actually. I'd like to answer. I'd like you to answer it in a way that how does government support works in this space right now, and what you expect? What do you as a founder for this sustainable packaging company wants things to happen so that industry can adapt this as quickly as possible?
Government is doing a fantastic job when it comes to pushing for sustainable packaging. The two things that I would require from the government, and it is also helping a lot of these companies with startup seed capital. They're doing a lot of these startup related initiatives which are helping companies like ours. Along with that, there are also MSME schemes that government is releasing that is definitely helping all such companies. There are two things that I would like to ask the government. One thing is faster changes or faster actions from the government. That is, we would love to see the government act a little bit more faster on the regulations that they bring in and all of these. And secondly, we would like sustainable packaging regulations to be made mandatory for a larger number of industrial sectors. That is, currently it is just fixated on pan masala and gutka, and that is in the draft right now. But we would like to see it expand to further other industrials or other products as well, so that the push for sustainable packaging increases, especially during a time when we have solutions which are cheaper than plastic and which are completely India made. I think it is definitely high time that we actually do that.
Okay, okay, great. So government's push actually matters here, and how industry
Yes, yes.
evolve, government will play a major role in it, right? Uh,
Correct,
can
correct,
we
correct.
can we move on to talk about your revenue and about your clients and whatever information you can provide on that end? That'd be great.
We started. So, like I told you at the beginning, we were in R&D for the first 2 years, and we our first operational year was just the one which got closed on March 25, 26.
Okay,
That is this year. So this is our second actual year in operation. In our first year, we made about 1.4 crores in revenue, and we will be crossing that 1.4 mark by the end of this month. So in the first 3 months, we've been able to cross that mark.
okay.
So
So
yeah,
this is gross income of the company right now, right?
revenue. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it
revenue.
is. Yes.
Okay, so what is it the goal that you have by the end of this year to cross?
We want to reach around 6 to 7 crores by the end of the year, and we're targeting to do more. And yeah,
Okay, so
in fact,
what is
even
it?
more.
Okay, so what is it like from this 1.4 CR? How much of the profit or EBITDA that you guys can get?
That again depends. That depends on a lot of factors.
Just a general
Generally,
percentage.
generalized numbers would be somewhere a gross profit of around, say, 16 to 18%.
Okay,
Sorry,
okay,
net profit of about 16 to 18%. I
okay,
think,
okay.
yeah.
So 16 to 18% of 1.4 CR. Okay,
Yes, yes,
that's
yes.
good. That's good. It will grow, but what is it that what is it the decisions or the things that will make it
Huh.
grow actually?
The more you produce, the lesser your cost becomes. That actually improves your headroom and profit. So that is what we're banking on, and that is why we are in the flexible packaging domain. So that we can reach that scale pretty quickly, and at that scale as well, we can still retain and earn more profits. So yeah.
Okay, got it. So yeah, there is always room for growing. Yeah,
Yes, yes, absolutely, always.
yeah. Someone wants to get into this space. How
Mhm.
does one pick up a problem and work on it?
So, if you are someone who's looking to do anything, for that matter, not just this space, but anything, you pick a problem that other people have, not a problem that you think people might have, but you should have a proof that other people actually have this problem, and there are several people around you that are facing a common glitch that problem and work on solving it in the fastest, cheapest, and best way. You will definitely fail multiple times, but the primary thing that you'll have to remember is never give up. Just keep at it, and over a period of time, you will learn and you will definitely become better at it, and you will definitely crack it.
Yeah, yeah, you are absolutely right, and I think that's the one of the best advices I've
Yes.
been given in this period of time. So, okay, that wraps most of my questions. I don't think I have anything more to ask you. Do you have any
Perfect.
last notes that you would like
Perfect.
to add?
Perfect. Absolutely nothing. I would love to see India move completely towards a sustainable future, especially started with packaging. And yeah, that's my wrap up word. But I'll have to tell you this, Siddharth,
Okay.
you are absolutely amazing. Even with whatever you're doing, the podcast that you're doing, it's definitely out of the normalcy. I hope that you really get on with it and work on it, because even from what I'm seeing right now,
Okay.
this is very, very professional compared to anything that I've seen in the past.
Great.
So keep it up. I think you'll be going a long way. I am definitely sure you'll be probably one of India's biggest podcasters as well. I have
Thank
absolutely no
you
doubt in
very
that.
much for the wishes.
So
I wish you the
yes,
same that you become the
thank you,
world's
thank you.
first a person to actually make sustainable thing,
Thank you.
actual thing. Yeah.
With
So
you, I have no doubt, absolutely no doubt, you will definitely hit it. I am damn sure. Because the way that you've prepared, the way that you're presenting everything is absolutely next level. So
thank you
don't
very
have a
much.
doubt about that at all.
I was thinking that today, while shooting the last message to you, I was like, okay, if he agrees, we'll do it, or I'll just leave the trail now because it's been a long time now.
Yes, yes,
But
it's been very
yeah,
long.
yeah. So
Yes.
basically, I didn't give up on you.
Yes,
If
yes, yes, yes. Thank you for that. My apologies because I've been really going back and forth with a lot of things, and it's been really difficult. But yeah, thank you for accommodating me. It has been wonderful. You've been absolutely great. I regret not doing this earlier with you.
oh, thank you very much for this. Thank you
Yes.
very much for doing this.